Hello, my dear English learners. How are you? I hope everyone is in tune. So, first of all, you people know that before learning anything, we must know what is its importance, and few questions must be in our mind. Why, how, and what? So, first of all, before starting learning English, we must be aware of its importance. You people know that bilingual people have to take up the study of a major foreign language for purposes of communication, and especially the international communication, because their national languages are minor languages in the sense that they are not extensively used as a means of exchange of ideas beyond the boundaries of their country or locality wherever they are living. So, first of all, to be cosmopolitan or citizens of the world, because this is a global village and we can't hibernate ourselves. We must be in contact with the world. So, the importance of English is great. So, first of all, we must be knowing that why English is indispensable. It is indispensable because of the many reasons. First of all, you people know it is the foremost medium of international communication. You people know that among all the languages, English is standing at the front, being the foremost medium. So, definitely, secondly, it is a storehouse of word knowledge. You people know all the most of the books, most of the e-books, each and everything available on the internet. You people know that everything, whenever you visit, it is definitely then that is in English, and it is storehouse of word knowledge. Thirdly, it is language of commerce and industry, and also IT. You people know when you people start working on your laptops or computers, you see each and everything just from the whatever windows, from whatever your computer starts, and after that each and every program whatever you may be using, that is MS Word or PowerPoint, each and everything. And also, you know, the all the machinery used in the factories, industries, their literature, when it comes, it is in English. So, fourthly, it is language of diplomacy, and then it is also necessary for our technicians. And then we must we must learn it because it is essential to keep abreast of modern developments, what is happening around the world. you know all the news you read, all the media, most of the news, that if wherever you are maybe living, if you are living in Pakistan, you are living in India, you are living in China. So if you want international news, and you must be, that is most of that, all the developments whatever you want to know, those are in English. And then it is an effective means for promoting international understanding. United Nations organization, why was it established? For promoting that international harmony. So definitely each and everything is done in English. So it has a great market value too. If you are a teacher of a bio or whatever subject, when you go there for selection, the interview, in which language is that? That isn't definitely in English. And also, this is research age, when you have to search again all the existing knowledge in the word, and you have to add something new to that. So definitely English is also needed for higher education and research. So definitely its importance is bright like a sunny day, and we cannot deny that. Thank you very much. My dear students, welcome to yet another lesson. As I told you earlier, first of all, we must understand whatever we are learning. So, first of all, English is a language, and we must understand what is a language. You know, language distinguishes man from the rest of the animal world. You also know that other animals communicate with one another by means of cries, etc. But these various means of communication differ in different ways from human language. Animals' cries are not articulate and lack structure. The basic difference. So then, what is language? So we can say that a language may be said to be a method by which a person expresses his thoughts and feelings in such a way that they can be understood by others. It is a system of communication by written or spoken words, which is used by the people of a particular country or area. So, we can also say that a language is a signaling system which operates with symbolic vocal sounds and which is used by some group of people for the purposes of communication and social cooperation. You can take example of your daily life. Whenever you need something, you contact others for fulfilling your needs. You communicate. And also social cooperation. We are living not in a jungle, but in a such a world where we have to contact each other every day. So, you know, some languages such as English or Russian or Chinese are used both in speech and in writing. Others, for example, some of African languages have not yet got an accepted orthography and are used mostly or only in speech. So, in short, we can say language is a series of sounds, usually strung together in groups which convey meanings to the listeners. So, after just understanding the language, now let's come to the English language. That is your main target that you are learning. You know that of all the major languages, English has the greatest and largest vocabulary. You know what is the longest one syllable word with 8 consonants and only one vowel? Can you tell me? Just ponder. First of all, you must be knowing what is a syllable. As I told you, the longest one syllable word, word or part of a word that can be uttered by single effort of the tongue, that is syllable. So with single effort having 8 consonants and only one vowel, that is strength. Strengths. You uttered that with one effort. So, you know, many major languages are there, and many dialects Dialects, we would discuss that. What is a dialect? Those are spoken. So, you know, many languages are there. First of all, we must understand what is dialect. When we listen carefully to the sounds that people make when they speak, we notice that different speakers of the same language do not always speak alike. The chief cause of these differences is geographical dispersion. Many languages are spoken over a wide area, and people from different parts of the area speak somewhat differently. You know, same English, for example, Australians may say arrow, while others says afternoon. So, then what is dialect? The various local types of a language. The various local types of a language are known as dialects. We can take example of English. We have, British English, we have American English, we have Australian English, we have Scottish English, we have Indian English, and also you can take the example of another language, Urdu. We have different dialects, Punjabi, Saraiki, Hindko. So definitely in every country several dialects are used by the local population comprising of the various linguistic units. And the greater the territory of a country, the more likely it is that a great variety of dialects are spoken by its people. So, I hope you got the concept of dialects, but don't confuse it. A dialect is not the same thing as an accent, which is the way a person pronounces words. So, definitely, when we come next, we would just discuss that. And then standard English. You must also know the standard English. Standard English is the dialect of English used by most educated English speakers, and it is spoken with a variety of accents. So definitely educated people are there and they want that. So in next lesson we would start from the very smallest thing, the very basic. So we would discuss those and we must say goodbye for now. Thank you. Hello everyone. Today we are going to study alphabet, right from the playgroup, nursery. When you started schooling, this word is again and again coming, entering into your ears. So first of all, about it, what is alphabet? Actually, alphabet is a set of letters arranged in a particular order and used in writing language. And the letters of the English language are 26 in number. But first of all, an important thing to discuss. You know that in a perfect alphabet, there should be special symbol or letter for each sound, and no sound should have more than one symbol or letter. But our alphabet is not like that and is a very poor guide to pronunciation, and that just creates too many confusions. Certain letters such as C, Q, and X are unnecessary and could be taken away. C could be replaced by K or S, Q by K, and X by KS or GS. So many of letters are overworked, overburdened, and have to stand for several sounds. The letter G, for example, has to do duty for three different sounds in the words garden, gentleman, and prestige. The letter S has to represent three different sounds in the words. See, the letter has to represent three different sounds in the words this, these, and sugar. Just ponder. Just listen to that again and see this, these, and sugar. To make matters worse, we have about more than 500 ways of writing R43 sounds. So, my dear students, but don't take, just be optimist and don't be pessimist. Just take it positive because you have to build up your base. Why we are starting this course from the very base? Because we have to know all the loopholes, all the mistakes, and we have to clear those. So, letters, the 26 vowels and consonants of the alphabet, you know. And then we have words. You also know it is a sound or group of sounds. It is a sound or group of sounds that expresses a meaning and forms an independent unit of a language. You can also say it is the smallest unit of language that people can understand if it is said or written on its own. Dear students, you know that when we speak, we produce a succession of sounds arranged in groups, which we called words, and each word has a definite meaning in the minds of the persons using that language. But to somebody who does not know that language, the words convey no meaning. Every language on earth has its own particular set of words, most of which are quite different from those of any other language. You know that words can be very small, like he, so, and these can also be very long, like anti disestablishmentarianism. See? So, now at the end of this class, there is a question, and just ponder, just think over that, and tell me the longest word of English. Many of you would just say anti disestablishmentarianism. No, my dear students, there is yet another. Anyone? Write that if you know that, if you have guessed that. Okay, the longest word in English is smiles. And you people would say, we don't agree. Why not? It is starting from S. And what is at the end? At the end we have S. And what is in between? M-I-L-E, mile. Too much long. So there is distance of 1 mile between. We have two S's. So, smiles, my dear students. It was just for you people to relax, and you people would be at different places. You must remember that in teaching, in teaching, just teaching is not there. You have to relax the students, and you have to, when you see that they are getting bored or just overburdened by your words, then just some literary joke or something like that must be there. God bless you. Hello everyone. Today we are going to start our lesson with a very important term, that is syllable. So, first of all, you people know that you face difficulties whenever there is a long word in its pronunciation or and also in spelling. You get confused how to pronounce it or how to spell it. Even we get confused while writing the spellings of this very word pronunciation. So definitely when we get confused and then we spell it wrong. So is there any way that we can get rid of this confusion? We have to understand the word syllable in the best possible way. My dear students, you know that we have a word, or when we have long word, we have different parts of that. So a word or a part of a word uttered by a single effort of voice is called a syllable. Let's have some example. But first of all, we must take take it grammatically. We must understand it grammatically. So grammatically, or in other words, we can say it is a word or a part of a word which contains a single vowel sound. In our next lesson, we are going to study sounds of language. In that, we would study the vowel sounds. So, if you have any confusion, don't get confused. We are going to study that. So, now let's have some examples of syllable. First of all, you must keep in mind the organs of speech. You know, lips, then you have teeth ridges, then you have tongue, then palate, then throat, and then you have vocal cords. So definitely keep those in mind. So see, cheese, cat, fought, all these three words have been uttered by a single effort of voice. Cheese, cat, fought. So they have one syllable, or they are monosyllabic. Now let's take the example of butter. Remember the breakfast? Butter, rating, deny. How many efforts of voice? Two. So these have two syllables. Then excitement, Superman. Remember your childhood when Superman, $6 million man, they were there. So Superman. Telephone, telephone. These have three syllables because these have been uttered by three efforts of voice. Then American, complicated. These have definitely, now you have got the point, four syllables. And then examination, uncontrollable, five syllables. So my dear students, now when you face difficulty in pronouncing a word or spelling it, just divide that into syllables, and that would be too much easier for you to pronounce that or to write that. Thank you very much. My dear students, everyone is fine. So, in the last lesson, I told you that we would be discussing today classification of sounds so that it may not be difficult for you to pronounce the sounds. You know, the sounds which the organs of speech. We discussed the organs of speech in our last lesson. The sounds which the organs of speech are capable of uttering are of many different kinds. So, first of all, we discussed in the last lesson vowels. So, you must be confused about that. Since our childhood, we have been just told that we have five vowels: A, E, I, O, U. So, when we have to put an article before a word like university, we get confused because we just crammed and we had just learned that before these letters, five letters, we have to put these are vowels and an, so that gets wrong. So here is the main point. These are actually not letters, these are actually sounds, having particular sounds. So first of all, be prepared to understand the vowels. My dear students, vowels or vowel, it is one of the human speech sound that we make by letting our breath flow out without closing any part of our mouth or throat. Just bring in your mind the organs of speech that we discussed: lips, teeth ridges, tongue, palate, soft palate is there, and hard palate is there, and then throat, and then windpipe, and then vocal cords. So now see, a, when I am uttering this sound, there is no obstruction nowhere in the mouth or throat. So this is a vowel sound. Once again, what is vowel sound? It is one of the human speech sounds that we make by letting our breath flow out without closing any part of our mouth or throat. No speed breaker is there. Just is flowing out, and so the vowel sound is being created. In English, the vowels are, sounds are A, E, I, or U, and sometimes W and Y. How? How W and Y? Those are semi vowels. When we have W at the end of a word, LAW, law, you say, there is no obstruction. Why? When we have way, 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 we have no obstruction. So at the end, these are vowel sounds. So now, yet another important sound, and what is that? Diphthong. Diphthong. You studied the syllables. Divide it into syllables. The word diphthong means a double sound. Die. Die means two or twice. And we have two sounds. So, two vowel sounds pronounced as one syllable. When we pronounce two vowel sounds in one syllable, those are known as diphthongs. We have many examples. We have EI, we have OU, we have AI, we have AU, OI, OAY. So, it is actually a vowel sound consisting of intentional glide. The organs of speech starting in the position of one vowel and immediately moving in the direction of another vowel. WAY. Way. Just note AY, giving just starting from one and going into another. Away, boy, for, OU, tour, TOUR, OU sound. So, my dear student, very important, very important sound. You have to learn that, because when these bricks would be fixed and when you have to construct the whole building, sentences and essays, so these must be understood clearly. After that, we have consonant. You have understood the vowel, so just keep that in mind. What is a consonant? It is a speech sound made by partly, part, or completely stopping the flow of air through the mouth. A letter that represents one of these sounds is called consonants. What was there in vowel sound? There was no obstruction. But what is there in consonant? There is partly or completely stopping the flow of air. So, this blockage may be in any one of a large number of places, at the lips, at the teeth ridge, or further back in the mouth. Now this blockage may be complete, so that no air can pass, or only partial, so that some air escapes, but with a frictional noise. All the letters except the vowels or consonants. Just practice. P, P. You have your lips are closing and there is obstruction. So this is consonant. Then take the example of C. C. There is blockage of air. So this is partly stopping the flow of air. So that this is also consonant sound. Sometimes you would just further divisions are there into plosives and nasals, laterals, fricatives, affricates, semi vowels. You may be listening and just understanding and just learning those in future. So now we have the last sound, consonant cluster. A group of two or more consonants together in a syllable is called a consonant cluster. Keep in mind the diphthongs, those were vowels. These are consonant clusters. Take the example of handkerchief. HANDKERCHIEF. So we have NDK together. So what is this? This is consonant cluster. So it is called a releasing cluster if it precedes, and an arresting cluster if it follows the vowel. The greatest number of consonants possible in the releasing cluster in English is 3, and the greatest number of consonants possible in an arresting cluster is 4. So now let's come to the examples. Grandfather, NDF, consonants together. So consonant cluster. Sandwich. Remember break time? Sandwich. SANDW. NDW. Then almond. ALMOND. So we have LN. So together. So that is also a consonant cluster. You must also learn in pronunciation the silent letters, because you are just noticing we have many silent letters. That is also important. When you say many family, in family, father, mother, sister, daughter. So R at the end is silent because there's vowel sound before that. So definitely when we have R at the end of the word in British English and before that we have vowel, so that R is silent, and this is also silent in the middle. Perfect if we have consonant after that. So perfect, not perfect. And then educators, not educators, R is silent. So in your pronunciation class, if you continue that lesson, you would be learning that. God bless you and thank you very much.